Hey, Dr. Bob with Carolina Value Pet Care here. In my long career as a veterinary medicine dating back, gosh, way back in the 70s, believe it or not, I can't tell you how many times when clients will be in full-on panic mode, understandably, when their dogs start schnorking, where they do sort of kind of like the pig sort of just sort of a sound that you hear, and they see their dog kind of retching and kind of hunched over, and they're trying to get their breath. And the first thing, if you've never seen it before, first thing they're thinking, oh my God, my dog's choking on something. What did he eat? What in the heck is causing this? And they think they're just waiting for him to collapse and die. And they pick him up and they're, running him to the ER. And 5 minutes down the road, they're perfectly fine. They say, well, gosh, well, he didn't spit up anything. Did he swallow it? Most of the time when you see this, we're going to see this primarily in small breeds of dogs. Small dogs less than 20 pounds primarily. We're also going to see it more commonly in what we call brachycephalic dogs. These are the dogs with kind of the smushed up noses. These can be your little Lhasas and Yorkies and Pomeranians and Pekingeses and pugs and so forth. And what's going on is not choking per se, it's actually from sinus drainage. So imagine with people, of course, obviously our heads are typically going to be much larger than that of a Chihuahua, for example. And in our heads, of course, we have this sort of this maze of things going on, and up here in the sinus areas of this maze of bones going on. Well, if you start getting a lot of material, this kind of thick, kind of a snotty kind of a stuff starting to accumulate in there for a variety of reasons, allergies or respiratory infections, then yeah, it's going to be, we start feeling congested. Now, the exact same thing happens with dogs, but imagine taking that same amount of material starting to accumulate, and you've got a very small area where it's all kind of compressed in. That's where the problems result. So if you had a lot of sinus congestion, if you have allergies, or if you have a bad cold, you're going to reach for a Kleenex, and you're going to blow your nose in all probability to try to eliminate that stuff that's kind of clogging you up. Dogs can't do that. Obviously, they can't reach for the Kleenex, and they can't sit there and blow their nose consciously like you and I can. So what happens? So they start sort of snorting in order to try to remove or move that material that's kind of blocking their sinus cavities up there. And to some success that can be beneficial, but for a lot of these dogs, it's gonna happen intermittently. So what can we do about those dogs when it happens? This is the one time I will reach for some Benadryl, using an over-the-counter antihistamine to help dry them up. Because all this kind of mucusy crud up in the sinus areas, if we can get some Benadryl on board to dry them up a little bit, that can help with a lot of these dogs. Don't have to give it all the time. You decide if your dog needs it. Just depends on if it's getting schnorky. But also pay attention if there's a pattern to the particular time of year that you will see it, because that is often the case. It will be more of a seasonal issue for your particular dog. So hopefully that'll give you a better sense of what's going on. So if you do hear your dog sort of schnorking, could it be choking? Possibly, but more likely if it's a little dog, small frame, little head, squeezed in, face, it's probably going to be more of a sinus issue. Hope that helps. Thanks.